Hello, everybody, and welcome to this journal author interview. I'm Don Finn. I serve as the editor of the COABE Journal, and it is my pleasure to be joined today by Cammie Kramer. She added a contribution to our Advocacy edition, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her article and what it brings to the field. So, first of all, Cammie, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. And would you just take a moment or two to give us a brief introduction and overview of who you are?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this. I was excited to write the article for the journal. It's an honor. And so my entire career has been with marketing and communications, and I've spent 17 years as an administrator with Jefferson County Adult Education in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for that brief introduction. So I want to just get right into talking about your article. Of course, the article is called Apathy, Attention, Alarm Bells, and Advocacy. And so the first natural question is, why did you write this article for the COABE Journal?
Well, like I said, I've always done marketing and communications. And in the 17 years that I've been with Jefferson County, our students have completed an enrollment form with the question, how did you hear about us? Overwhelmingly, the answers are always friend or family. So that tells us that we already have allies and advocates of adult ed all around us. Those people are the medium. So we as a program need to continue to provide information and content so our advocates can continue to spread the word, refer students, and just support our work throughout the community.
So your article was very interesting, and you shared some great information, some great practical advice. So my question to you is, how will adult education practitioners benefit from reading your article, and how will that benefit their learners?
Well, as we all know, educators are already carrying a heavy load. So asking them to make an extra lift can seem really overwhelming. I hope that when those in the field read this article, they understand that advocacy efforts can be shared. There are lots of suggestions in the article, so just focus on one or two to start. Include everyone on the team, include community and professional partners, and don't forget about the students. When you give your students a platform to tout what the program is doing in the community, it shows that you value and you trust their voices. Plus, their peers, their families, and their employers will listen, thereby widening the circle of those around you that hear about and understand the work that adult ed is doing.
You really offer some great practical advice, I must say, where you really give a strategy for how to advocate, particularly if you're having meetings with individual decision makers and so on. Very easy to follow and very step by step. So clearly that marketing background certainly shines through. So what specifically do you hope the readers will take away from this article?
On the simplest level, I hope that the article relieves some anxiety around advocacy efforts. It's important to remember that adult education providers are doing great work. It's work that matters. Advocacy is simply telling those stories.
And that's one of the premise really of the entire journal edition looking at advocacy is that there are great stories out there. There's a lot of good that's happening in the classrooms and really the way that those good works and that learning in empowerment is really helping families and communities and so on. So that is really comes through in your article. So just to wrap things up, do you have any additional comments or any other information you'd like to share?
Well, something that I didn't address in the article are ways that providers could lean on their state associations or even their funding or fiscal agents. I feel so grateful that in my state, Kentucky Adult Education does a really amazing job with helping all of the providers with statewide efforts. They do funded social media campaigns and professional videos and marketing that most local providers wouldn't be able to do on their own. So I task folks to pay attention to those in your own state. When they ask for student or staff feedback or participation, be the first in line. Take advantage of every platform because that may be the one that makes the difference when you need it in terms of boosting student enrollment or general program support at the local or legislative levels.
That's great advice. I mean, it just speaks to the fact that, united we stand, right? So I think that's excellent, excellent advice to wrap up with. And I really want to thank you, Cammie, for your work in adult education and for sharing from your experience in your article. Again, the title of the article is Apathy, Attention, Alarm Bells, and Advocacy. And this was written by Cammie Kramer from Jefferson County Adult Education. So if you'd like to access Cammie's article or the entire edition, the advocacy edition, visit coabe.org and click on the journal link on the homepage. That will take you directly to the journal site and will give you information on how you can access those articles. So Cammie, again, thank you so much for your contributions, and thank you everybody for tuning in to watch this interview. Until next time, we wish you well. Take care.